welcome to The Mill, a podcast brought to you by Mill & Co. We're an advertising collective specializing in strategy, creative ideation, and execution. I'm your host, Rachel Ballatori, the founder and CEO of Mill & Co. With us today is Maureen Ballatori. Yes, we are related, not by blood, but by a lot more. Maureen is the founder and CEO of 29 Design Studio. They're a branding and marketing agency located in upstate New York. Maureen excels at leading initiatives that involve smart, creative, brilliant strategies and uniting communities. She excels at developing solutions to clients' brand-building challenges. She's also the managing partner of Metro Collective, where she is right now, a collective of people, ideas, and spaces that foster growth and connectivity in upstate New York. Maureen, thanks for being with us.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
It's so nice to talk to you in like a formal setting versus like over screaming people and bottles of wine and food. Although I love that just as much, if not more.
Right. Yeah.
Great. Well, so Maureen, as you know, you're here for our Four for Founders segment where we interview founders and CEOs of businesses across the country to talk about what it was like for them building their own brands. So first of all, what motivates you to be successful?
So success to me means many things, and it's always been my primary goal in my career is just to be successful. So it's been interesting to kind of see the changing ways that that's been quantified throughout my career. But success to me is happiness, happy clients, happy colleagues, and really just leaning into the pursuit of interesting in what we're doing with our relationships with our teams.
Yeah, agree. It's nice asking that question to everyone because everyone has a very similar but slightly different response to success. But I think overall, anyone that works for themselves is doing it not because they're working less than they would if they worked for someone else. In fact, you're probably working a lot more, but you're doing things that you're passionate about that you've built, which is what success feels like.
Mm-hmm. Totally agree.
Maureen, you've been a creative for a very long time. What made you finally take the leap into starting 29 Design Studio?
I spent 10 years in professional services working for other people and honing my skills in marketing strategy. And I had two kids, one of which is over there doing remote learning today. So, work-life balance. And I think it's a really great example, actually, of the fact that he's here today because I wanted to work for myself and launch my own company because I knew my life was going to be insane once I had a couple kids, and I really wanted to do it on my own terms and be able to control who I was working with and what I was doing on a day-to-day basis. And my joy in my career was up to me, and I wanted to take the bull by the horns and like I said, do that on my own terms.
Completely. Yeah, I felt the same way. And I think for me as well, when I started Mill & Co., a lot of it was, and I know you feel the same way with your own business, I identified a serious gap in the industry and something I could fix with the model that I was building. And to me, not only having the freedom to be home or wherever I have Wi-Fi or London or anywhere, but to solve a problem on my own without having to go through the hoops and the C-suites and everything was great and very liberating. We know that you have great days all the time, but what are some challenges that you face as a founder? Maybe give an example of a most recent challenge and how you overcame it.
Yeah, so there have been a couple times in my career running 29 Design Studio that we have had some clients who didn't fit with us anymore, right? So, you're constantly growing and changing the way that you're running your agency and your team. And, at least for me, I want everyone to be in the flow of what they're doing. And because our approach to business and client relationships has changed over time to be, a certain way. We really want to work collaboratively as much as possible. And sometimes the changing methods of the way that we approach business have not carried our clients along with us. And we've just gotten to this point where, we couldn't get on the same page. And we've had to let clients go, very high billing clients, actually, a couple times. And that's never an easy decision to make. But ultimately, the decision, while incredibly difficult, came down to, are we having fun? Are we enjoying this work that we're doing? And if the answer is no, then why are we doing it? If I spent those 10 years in professional services working for somebody else and I went to go do this on my own, then it's my decision to choose whether or not we're going to continue, working with this client. And so sometimes letting them go when you when you no longer align, while a difficult decision is something that has to be done.
I could not agree with you more. And I remember you and I talked about this, this was almost like 3 years ago, right when I launched Mill & Co. And I remember asking you about your experiences, and you were saying how, you're going to face a lot of tough things where you may need to let clients go, even if they're paying you a ton. And that's what differentiates us from the traditional agency that probably wouldn't. And people would be unhappy working on those brands and businesses, and they're getting treated very poorly, but it's always for the bottom dollar. And it is such a freeing feeling to say, you know what? No, I started this business because I have a set of morals and standards of partnership that I will abide by, and everyone that works with me will as well. And so I remember you telling me that 3 years ago, and I have since also had to let some clients go or turn down partnerships. And it's certainly scary, but it is, I don't think I would have changed any of it. Yeah.
And it's reassuring too how you feel after that has happened. So when you do commit to that decision of, all right, I don't want to do this anymore, or I've decided not to take this new client on, or whatever it is, how you feel after you've committed to that decision is usually really telling, in terms of, the feeling that it was the right choice to make. And then, all right, onward, what's next?
Right. Yeah. Like, did you scream into your pillow every night for 4 nights? Or did you toast with some champagne? Right. Either way, the answer's there.
Right. Confirmation. That's right.
Maureen, last question. And it's fun to ask you this now that I've been running Mill & Co. for 3 years, and I asked you this 3 years ago, but what advice would you give to someone who is just looking to start their own business?
You got to figure it out. You're going to be faced with a lot of really difficult decisions. Sometimes you have to build the parachute on the way down, build the plane down the runway. There's a lot of difficult decisions and paths to make along the way that are going to determine your future and your success. And if you stay true to who you are and, make decisions aligned with what works for you, you'll be okay. But having a mentality of being able to figure it out is a really strong first start.
Yeah. Well, and I think that also boils down to confidence. When I launched Mill & Co., I didn't have investors. I didn't have anyone giving me money and to start this. I'm living in a $3,000 a month apartment in West Village, Manhattan. Like, okay, I guess I'm eating romaine lettuce for the next 3 months until I can start making money, but it's having that level of, I won't fail because I can't fail because I won't fail, because no matter what, I'm going to be okay, was a huge confidence shift for me. And it was necessary.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you have to have that dedication. What did I tell you 3 years ago when you asked me what it took to be successful?
I don't remember. I don't know. So many things. You're putting me on the spot on my own podcast, Maureen. Yeah, it's hard work. I mean, you have to just grind it out, and that's it. And it's been very rewarding, and it's nice to get to chat with you, not only as a family member, but also as someone that runs a very similar style business. And for those watching, Maureen's 29 Design Studio recently shifted over to the food and agriculture niche, which is amazing. I remember we did talk about, at some point it's good for businesses to start to narrow their target audience. So this isn't on my 4 for Founders question, but I will throw in a 5 for Founders. How is it going?
Amazing. I was doubtful about that shift for some time. I had been toying with that idea for maybe 6 months before I committed to it and decided that it was ultimately the right decision for us. We flipped the switch on that last March, which was, challenging timing for better or for worse. But I will tell you that over the course of the last year, being able to identify that focus has allowed us to land larger client relationships, because they know that we understand the industry better than anybody else. I mean, there is no one else like us in upstate New York that has this expertise in food, beverage, and agriculture and brand management and brand marketing. So we are now taking that. It's worked so well that we're taking it on a national scale and really starting to scale up across the East Coast and then into the Midwest and beyond.
So exciting. Congratulations. It's great. You've been a wonderful mentor to me and someone I absolutely look up to. So I'm so honored that you joined us today for our 4 for Founders segment, which turned into a 5 for Founders. That's all we have for today. Thank you, Maureen. Thank you, 29 Design Studio. Thank you, Max, somewhere in the background. For more information about Maureen, 29 Design Studio, or for more episodes of The Mill, please check us out on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. Until next time, thanks so much.